Yeah, I don't want to, kill the vibe, obviously. First off, Eric, thanks for joining. But I guess I'll take a little bit of a different approach. I think it feels great. The reason I know baseball is back is because the second the lineup gets put out, everyone freaks out. It's the Monday morning absolute freak out, sky is falling because Colton Cowser is not in the lineup. Where is your panic meter on Colton Cowser 4 games in, and unless something changes in the next hour, no starts?
Negative 74.5. Like, could not be less bothered by him not getting starts, him only having 2 plate appearances, zero problem with it. Again, I think we've seen this process through. It's enough. I mean, we should all trust Mike Elias and Brandon Hyde, and what they do for the team seems to work out, more times than not. So, like, I'm not worried about Cowser not getting the at-bats, not getting the starts early. Again, he's not. I've chatted with him a bunch. He's not an ego guy. He's not. It doesn't strike me as a guy who's, he walks up, looks down. Okay, not in right field, not in left field, not DH. Okay, he's not throwing his hat. He's not throwing his helmet. He's not, cryptic messages on Twitter or Instagram or anything. I think as long as they're winning, it doesn't matter. And again, I fully trust Brandon Hyde and Mike Elias or whoever's putting the lineup together to put the best 9 guys in there. If Cowser's in there, he's in there. If not, that's fine too. Again, I don't think he really is upset about it. If they're 9-1 and he's not in there, again, as long as they're winning, I don't think it matters. And again, we will see him plenty. I'm thinking that we're going to see him a ton following the All-Star break and as we get into those dog days, because I think Tony's legs are going to be barking. And, Tony seems to go on these stretches in the second half where he hits like 8 home runs in 6 games and kind of carries the team. So I'm hoping that, again, they can use him to keep those legs fresh. And again, he can fill in at any of the 3 spots, but I'm not worried at all right now. He'll get his at bats. He'll get his starts. It's going to be a moot point. And again, we'll kind of just go from there, but I'm not worried about that or the lineup or anything like that at all. I also don't have the energy to. I'm still just, I'm just so jacked up that baseball's back. I don't have the time to be mad and pissy about a lineup that's probably going to change when a lefty comes in or something like that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is I'll look through and I'm like, okay, no Cowser, and then I'm like, I don't even know where I would put him. This isn't 2021 anymore where we are like, okay, there are 6 maybe major league guys on this roster that need to get at bats. Besides that, every single guy on the roster deserves to be a starter pretty much. And so it's hard. When you have that much talent, there are going to be guys that we unfortunately can't bat 13.
No, you can't. I think the only thing that I just as the person, you're right, Cowser, he's beloved. He has a great mentality, good dude. I've just started to get to know him a little bit here, just meeting him a couple times. And, that same thing that you talked about, Eric, he's that type of guy. He cares about winning. The only thing I feel for him is not playing is hard. Like Kyle Stowers, I could tell watching it, the confidence for him. Spring training ended the Monday before, so the 25th. So Cowser hasn't had a start of getting, 2 or 3 at bats in a game, starting a game. Coming into a game is a way different animal. I don't really count that. But a week off from being in meaningful at bats is a challenge. And I think that was something he had to learn last year. I think he's better prepared for it this year. But you hope to get in rhythm that you get that opportunity. That's the only thing that I'd worry about for Cowser. It's just that I want him to just be able to feel comfortable, because when he's loose and he's able to be aggressive at the plate because his timing's there, the dude mashes. So that's just the one thing. But you know what I do love? Jordan Westberg is in the lineup, and that's a guy that needs to be in, because I think I told the guys too, Eric, I know you probably feel similarly. I think Westy is going to be that guy that people might sleep on a little bit, but he's going to have a chance to put up some monster numbers.
Yeah, and it may have been, was it Zach? Was it you talking yesterday, guys, on Twitter about how we may look up at the end of the year in August and he's top 5 in RBIs on the team, and it's just every single time he's up, he's going to come through. All he seems to do is hit the ball hard somewhere, through the middle of the infield, wherever. But to me, Westberg seems like, I've used the word a bunch already, he's just a bulldog. He seems like a guy who is he was a perfect Buck Showalter guy too, like, oh, he could play second, he could play third, probably put him at short if you need, maybe a corner outfield spot if you really, really need it. But he seems like a guy who, again, was born, he was put on this earth, and God was like, you're going to hit the baseball very hard all over the field. And you're going to, again, he just seems kind of like calm, cool, collected. I've heard he's an absolute, like, just a firecracker, though. He doesn't seem like it. I think Brett Hollander was telling me the story about when they lost in San Diego last year. They were down like 9-1 in the ninth or something, 10-1. And he grounds out in the ninth inning. And Brett goes, I just prayed for that Gatorade cooler because he went to town on it. And again, he's like, this guy is so intense. He grounded out in a game that's over, and he's going and he's beating the crap out of it. And it's like, that's what I want. We see the intensity from Gunnar. We see all that stuff. But Westberg strikes me as a guy who he's going to be everyone's favorite player in a couple of years. That's not named Gunnar or Adley or Jackson or Colton or anyone like that. But I think he's a great baseball player. He's like a yes, sir. Put me wherever you want. I got 4 gloves in my bag. Just tell me which one to grab. I'll get that one. I'll go out there, and again, he'll go 2 for 4 with an RBI and a walk and a couple hits. So I'm very, very excited for the year of Jordan Westberg.